Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat, and today we're talking about some budget board wipes, and we're talking $2 or less. Let's jump right into it. First, let's talk about the creatures that we have. We have Sunblast Angel and Deathbringer Regent. When these enter the battlefield, we can destroy all tapped creatures, or if we cast Deathbringer from our hand and there's 5 or more creatures on the battlefield, we're going to destroy all creatures. And these both have flying. They're pretty big creatures, but again, this is 6 or 7 mana, which usually a board wipe is going to cost that much anyways, so if you pay this 6 or 7 mana, you can have a creature on top of it as well. Next, for the artifact, I recommend Nevinral's Disc. It costs 4, it's an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, it enters tapped, so you're going to have to wait a turn unless you can find a way to untap it, but we can pay 1, tap it, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So it's not just a creature board wipe like we mentioned before with Sunblast Angel and Deathbringer Regent. This is going to hit everything except lands. Next, we're moving on to the instants. We have Starstorm for X and 2 red. It's an instant. It's going to deal X damage to each creature, and it has cycling for 3 if we decide we want to discard that and draw a card instead. So if we want to deal 4 damage to each creature, we're going to have to pay 6 total. And again, that might not be worth it because when we can destroy all creatures for 6 mana, it's not really worth it to just do 4 damage. But red is all about dealing damage, so this is the type of cards you're going to find. Our last instant is Aetherize for 3 to blue. It's an instant. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hand. So if we're able to leave up 4 mana and someone's swinging all out with their 1 million tokens at us, well, in response, we're going to actually put all your creatures back to your hand, and this can be really devastating. So maybe we can do some politics and convince our opponents, hey, are you sure you really want to attack me? And if they decide they really want to, we can use this. Moving on to the sorceries, we have Martial Coup for X and 2 white. We're going to create X/1/1 white soldier creature tokens, and if X is 5 or more, we're going to destroy all creatures. What's disappointing is that we're going to have to pay at least 7 to destroy all creatures, and we're not able to keep those soldier tokens as well. So again, like I was mentioning before, we're already having to pay 6 or 7 mana. Why not just use a creature instead? Moving on to Citywide Bust. For 1 white, it's a sorcery. Destroy all creatures with toughness 4 or greater. I actually like this one. Yes, it's missing those lower toughness creatures, but hey, if our opponent's playing Eldrazi or just green, they're going to have huge creatures anyways. Forced March for X, black. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost X or less. So for 4 mana, we can destroy all 1 CMC creatures, but again, black is not as good with board wipes as white. So maybe sometimes we'll have to pay life, or we're going to have to pay that extra mana to even be able to destroy creatures. Chain Reaction. I really like this one, and let me explain why. For 2 and 2 red, it's going to deal X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Now remember I said red is all about dealing damage. Well, this is also true with this card, but if we have 10 creatures on the battlefield for 4 mana, we're dealing 10 to each creature. This is a great board wipe for red. Endemic Plague for 3 and a black has an additional cost to play. Endemic Plague, sacrifice a creature. Destroy all creatures that share a creature type with a sacrificed creature. They can't be regenerated. So this can be really specific because if we're playing a tribal deck, we're probably not going to want to sacrifice one of our creatures because then all of our creatures will be destroyed. But maybe if we're playing a changeling deck, they're every single creature type. Yes, our creatures will still die, but everyone else's will as well. Kaya's Wrath for 2 white and 2 black. We're going to destroy all creatures. We gain life equal to the number of creatures we controlled that were destroyed this way. I like this one because it's similar to Wrath of God, except we're paying the 2 black instead of the 2 colorless. And if we like the life gain, this is an option as well. Ritual Soot for 2 and 2 black. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. So I think this is a little bit better than Forced March, but still, if we wanted more flexibility, I think Forced March would be a great option. Destroying all creatures with CMC 3 or less can actually be pretty good. It can probably take out most of our opponent's sack outlets, like Viscera Seer, or maybe even Mentor of the Meek that's getting them their card draw. It's really just up to your meta, or it's up to your play group. Like, if you know that they're going to be playing CMC creatures that are more than 3, maybe this isn't the board wipe for you. Shatter the Sky for 2 and 2 white. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroy all creatures. So this could give our opponents 1 card, but still, we're going to be able to destroy all creatures. So this is almost as good as Wrath of God. Besides, Wrath of God is more expensive, and it makes it where the creatures can't be regenerated, but this is a really sweet one. Cleansing Nova for 3 white. I like this one too. We can choose one, destroy all creatures or artifacts and enchantments. So whatever's bothering us, maybe our opponents have Rhystic Study or Soul Ring, whatever their artifact or enchantments are, we can take care of that, or if we need to take care of the creatures, that is also an option. End Hostilities for 3 white. Destroy all creatures and all permanents attached to creatures. That means if you have your sword attached to your creature, I'm taking care of that because it's most likely going to be attached to our opponent's creatures. creatures. Planar Outburst for 3 white, destroy all non-land creatures. This was in the lands pre-con that came out in Zendikar Rising. I think this is a great option if you are a lands matter deck and you happen to have white. Maybe you're making your lands into creatures. This is a good option for you. Time Wipe for 2 white, blue, return a creature you control to its owner's hand, then destroy all creatures. I really like this board wipe because if my commander is really important to me and I really don't want to cast it again from the command zone, I can skip paying that extra 2 mana, save my commander or whatever important creature, and still destroy all other creatures. Winds of Wrath for 3 white, destroy all creatures that aren't enchanted. They can't be regenerated. I really like this one if I'm playing enchantments, because usually you're going to find that your creatures are going to be enchanted. Maybe it's with Indestructible, or you're giving your creatures Trample. If you're an enchantment deck, this is one for you to play. Akroma's Vengeance for 4 white, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. It's going to give us the ability to cycle it. So again, if you just want to get rid of everything, this is a good one for you. Blood on the Snow for 4 black. It's a snow sorcery. We're going to choose one, destroy all creatures or destroy all planeswalkers. Then return a creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this spell. So even if we didn't spend any snow mana to cast this spell, I really like that it gives us the option to choose between the two. But if you're playing snow sources, then I think this is a good one for you. Deadly Tempest for 4 black, destroy all creatures. Each player loses life equal to the number of creatures they control that were destroyed this way. This can be really helpful, especially if we're up against a token deck. They're going to be losing a lot of life if we use a board wipe like this. Extinguish All Hope for 4 black, destroy all non-enchantment creatures. So if we are playing specifically enchantment creatures, I think this is a great one to have. Phyrexian Rebirth for 4 and 2 white, destroy all creatures, then create an XX colorless horror artifact creature token where X is the number of creatures destroyed this way. Maybe if we're the token deck, we can use this, and by destroying all creatures, now we have an empty battlefield just to swing out at our opponents. Hour of Reckoning, if we are a token deck, you're going to love this one. For 4 white, which probably not going to love how much it costs, but destroy all non-token creatures. This is a great board wipe for token decks, especially because it has Convoke, because by tapping our creatures we can help pay for this board wipe, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper. Maybe we end up paying only 2 white mana. That would be great. Necromantic Selection for 4 black, destroy all creatures, then return a creature card put into the graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. It's a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types, and then we're going to exile Necromantic Selection. I like this one even though it costs 7 mana. We get rid of all the threats on the board, and then we can grab any creature put into the grave, and now it's under our control. Sublime Exhalation for 6 and a white. It has Undaunted, which means it's going to cost 1 less for each opponent. So if we have 3 opponents, this will only cost 3 and a white. Destroy all creatures, which this will end up being better than Wrath of God mana-wise, because now we have a colorless instead of that additional white. Sunscour for 5 and 2 white. You may remove 2 white cards from your hand from the game rather than pay Sunscour's mana cost, and will be able to destroy all creatures. I think it's nice that it gives us this option, but again, it's kind of normal that we're paying 6 or 7 mana to getting rid of the whole board. So maybe, like I mentioned earlier, those creatures are looking a lot better every time I'm reading these board wipes, because we get a creature in addition. It's having like 4 or 5 power, which can attack or block with, and exiling 2 white cards can be a lot in white. So if you're not playing mono white, this won't be very good for you. Dusk to Dawn, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater, or it has Aftermath, which means we're going to cast this from our grave and then we'll exile it. Return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. I think this is okay. I do like that it's destroying power 3 or greater, so those are like really big threats. I wish that Dawn returned those power 2 or less creatures to the battlefield. I think that would be so good for white. And last we have In Garric's Wake for 7 black, so 9 mana. We destroy all creatures we don't control and all planeswalkers we do not control. That is a lot of mana, but it's like a Cyclonic Rift, except we're destroying everything that is creature or planeswalker related, and then if we have a huge board, we can go in swinging. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like any of these cards, please use the link down below when purchasing your cards. It's going to help out the channel at no additional cost to you. As always, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, comment below what you think the best budget board wipe is, and subscribe for more Mango content. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.